Hi YouTube, my name is Vicky. I'm a practicing pagan and I have been for many years, and I would like to respond to the pair of Wicca is Satanic videos that have been stirring up a bit of controversy, and I'd like to add a disclaimer here that I'm not attacking Christians, I'm not attacking Christianity, and this is merely to point out the inaccuracies in your arguments, and it is also to address the points that I've just found downright offensive in your videos, where you've been practically laughing at paganism. Well, the first thing I'd like to address is this Chris Brown, Kanye West thing, saying that they were occultists and Freemasons. And I've had a little bit of an investigation into this, and despite my best efforts, I can't find anything beyond rumour, really. It's all just rumours. And the internet is probably the best place to stir up a rumour. There was that entire Lady Gaga thing, if you remember, where everyone said she was a hermaphrodite, and she had to say on national telly that she wasn't, if I remember correctly. But yeah, just because they've been snapshotted doing a couple of Masonic-looking gestures does not make them Freemasons, and you can interpret their songs any way you want. People have different meanings for them, so they're not necessarily Freemasons just because you say they are. There's been nothing proven of that. And with regards to what you said about Wiccans not wanting to talk about the Freemasonry relations, I find that quite surprising. I've not heard anything by Wiccans saying who didn't want to talk about it or trying to avoid it. It's quite widely accepted that some aspects, especially of traditionalist Wicca, are based upon some aspects of Freemasonry, some of the rituals of Freemasonry, and they're also based upon other things, though, influenced by druidry and folk magic, ceremonial magic, all sorts of things. And then in your second video, you were talking about the pentagram. Right, well, this is something that you should have researched better, because the pentagram for Wiccans represents the 5 elements. Each point represents the 5 elements of earth, air, fire, water, and the top one being spirit. And Satanists use the inverted pentagram and put a goat's head sometimes inside of it to create the sigil of Baphomet. And if you can see, like in one picture, I actually saw the base of the inverted pentagram was the goat's face, and the 2 at the side were his ears, and the 2 at the top were the horns. Traditionalist Wiccans do use the inverted pentagram, but with, like, as a symbol of second degree initiation, if you look into the degree system. But this has nothing to do with Satanism. It really doesn't. I mean, take other symbols, for example, such as the swastika, which has been used in Eastern religions such as Hinduism and Buddhism. But as we all know, it became a symbol of the Nazis. Now, are you going to try and argue that all Nazis are Hindus or Buddhists? Or are you going to try and argue that Hindus are Nazis? I mean, you can say the same thing. I mean, a symbol is a symbol. It may look the same, but the meaning could be different for different people and different groups, and that's the case here. You haven't researched well into this. And in the first video, what I found particularly offensive was when you started talking about the Celtic, not Celtic, green man, saying, oh, come on, the Celtic green man? He could look like the Lucky Charms guy. That's completely offensive. Would you find people talking about Jesus and go, you believe in a zombie Jew who rose from the dead, ha ha ha, how stupid are you? I have never said anything like that to anyone in my entire life, and I wouldn't, because I respect other people's beliefs. So I find it quite offensive that you're just being so horrible about our beliefs. And something I think you're going to find quite surprising, especially if you ever take a visit over to the UK or to Europe, is that you find him in your churches. This is true. You find him in your churches, in your chapels, in your cathedrals, in your abbeys. There are so many examples. It's a decorative carving, and they can be dated like from the I think I remember the dates, 11th century through to the 20th century. And he seems, there's not been actual verification on the origins because it can date back so far, but he can be seen as a sort of fertility or nature figure. And probably because paganism predates Christianity by a lot. Wicca doesn't. Wicca came in the 50s, but all the religions that it was based on come back way before Christianity. And it's probably the case that those symbols came in, but it is true, you will find him in your churches, and there are different green mans representing different cities and different towns, and I'll put some examples in the description for you. And the green man kind of looks like a face with loads of leaves. There's lots of different examples. These are some I own. There's one. And here's a little example on a piece of lime tree that's been burnt into it. And here's an example I bought the other day, actually at my local cathedral. He doesn't represent my city, but he was being sold there in a fair. In Wicca, in neo-paganism anyway, he can represent the face of the forests. He can be used to represent the god Keranos or Pan. He can represent the horned god. And I just think it's so offensive that you've just gone out and said it, not researching what it is, who the green man is. I just think that's very foolish of you. And other things that could equally be applied from your argument to Christianity. False idol gods that little kids could make up, you said at the end of your first video. Another thing you said was, if these things can make you laugh or something like that. It was in the context of, if these things aren't making you either laugh or say this is a lie of Satan. To be fair, we could equally laugh at Christianity. I mean, we could equally laugh at any religion. We could equally say, oh, that's stupid. Why do you believe in that? It's so obvious it's this way. Not true. And that's not fair. And, you know, I mean, everyone's got their own beliefs. We don't believe that Wicca is the only path. We accept that everyone has their own path. Everyone has their own way of reaching divinity. And I quite agree with the way Blue Fire Witch puts it, because Wicca isn't a religion with me. It's a religion of helping others, putting others before ourselves, healing others, helping the earth. And Blue Fire Witch was saying in one of the responses to this video, I think, that it's not like fast food, like you say, but it's about discovering your favourite flavour of ice cream. You can't choose what your favourite flavour is. It just is your favourite flavour. That's the same with deities. But yeah, she's right in saying Christianity is a bit like Dairy Queen. I mean, I don't have anything wrong with Christianity. It's just some Christians I have a problem with. Ones that are ignorant and don't do their research. You should be more like SHAZOOLO, who I'm going to put the link to in the description there. He's a Christian from the UK, and he makes many videos about what he doesn't agree with Christianity, but he kind of agrees to disagree. And he does his research, he reads books and quotes from them, quotes from pagan books. You should do more things like this instead of just laughing at us. You're not winning anyone over to Christianity by acting like an ignorant, offensive idiot. So please take this into consideration before you make another video. Blessed be.